Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Political Science, Paper 1, Topic 4, Basic Concepts of Islamic State. The basic concepts of Islamic State are grounded in Islamic political thought and jurisprudence. Some of the key concepts are Tawheed. Tawheed is the concept of monotheism, which is the foundation of Islamic faith. Tawheed affirms that belief in one God and that He is the ultimate source of all power and authority. Allah is the sovereign power. Second is Sharia. This is the divine law that governs all the aspects of the human life. The Islamic State is expected expected to implement the Sharia in all areas of the governance, including politics, economics, and social welfare. Third is Khilafah. This is a concept of caliphate, which is the political institution that is based on the principles of Islamic State. The, the caliph is the head of state and is responsible for upholding the Sharia and ensuring justice and equality for all citizens. Fourth one is Adl. This is a concept of justice, which is a fundamental principle of Islamic political thought. The Islamic State is expected to ensure justice and equality for all citizens regardless of their race, religion, or social status. Fifth one is the Shura is a consultation, a concept of consultation, which is an important principle in Islamic governance. The Islamic State is expected to consult with its citizens and seek their input and opinions on important matters of governance. Sixth one is Amar bil Maruf. This is the concept of commanding the good, which is an important principle in Islamic ethics. The Islamic State is expected to promote virtuous behavior and discourage vice, and to ensure that the society is based on moral principles. Seventh is Nahi Anil Munkar. This is the concept of forbidding the evil, which is another important principle in Islamic ethics. The Islamic State is expected to prohibit immoral behavior and activities that are harmful to society. Overall, the basic concepts of Islamic State are grounded in Islamic political thought and jurisprudence and emphasize the principles of the monotheism, divine law, justice, consultation, and moral behavior. The Islamic State is expected to ensure that these principles are implemented in all areas of governance and to promote the well being and prosperity of all citizens. Next is sovereignty in Islamic State. In Islamic political thought, sovereignty belongs to God, Allah, who is the ultimate authority and source of all power. This means that the Islamic State is not considered to be sovereign in the same sense as modern nation states. Rather, the Islamic State is expected to implement and uphold the Sharia, which is the divine law that governs all aspects of human life. The concept of sovereignty in Islamic political thought is closely linked to the concept of Khilafah or the Caliphate. The Caliph is the head of the state in Islamic system, but his authority is limited by the Sharia and he is expected to rule in accordance with the divine law. The Caliph is not considered to be above the law and he is accounted to God and the people for his actions. In the Islamic State, power is distributed among different institutions and actors, including the Caliph, the scholars and jurists who interpret the Sharia, and the community of believers who hold the Caliph and other rulers accountable. This system of checks and balances is designed to ensure that power is not concentrated in the hands of any one individual or group and that the interests of people are protected. Overall, the concept of sovereignty in Islamic political thought is grounded in the idea that all power and authority ultimately belong to God and that human rulers are accountable to Him and the people for their actions. The Islamic State is expected to uphold the Sharia and promote justice, equality, and the well being of all citizens in accordance with the principles of Islamic political thought. Constitutionalism in Islamic State. Constitutionalism is the idea that government power should be limited and restrained by a constitution that sets out the fundamental principles and rules of the political system. In Islamic political thought, the concept of constitutionalism is closely linked to the Sharia, which is the divine law that governs all aspects of human life. In the Islamic State, the Sharia serves as the constitution, setting out the basic principles and rules of the political system. The Sharia is seen as the ultimate source of authority, and all laws and policies must be consistent with its principles and values. This means that the Islamic State is expected to be governed by the rule of law and that the actions of the state and its officials must be subject to judicial review. One of the key principles of Islamic constitutionalism is the idea of consultation shura, which is based on the concept of collective decision making and consultation in Islamic tradition. The Islamic State is expected to consult with its citizens and to seek their input and participation in the political process. Another important principle of Islamic constitutionalism is the idea of accountability. In the Islamic State, rulers are expected to be accountable to God and the people for their actions and to be held responsible for any violations of the Sharia or abuse of power. Overall, the concept of constitutionalism in Islamic political thought emphasizes the importance of limiting government power, upholding the rule of law, and ensuring that rulers are accountable to the people. The Sharia serves as the foundation for the constitutional order in the Islamic State, setting out the basic principles and rules that govern the political system. Next topic is power distribution in Islamic State. In Islamic State, in Islamic political thought, power is distributed among different institutions and actors with the ultimate authority residing with God. This means that no individual or group can claim absolute power or sovereignty, as all power is ultimately derived from and subject to God's will. The distribution of power in the Islamic State is based on the concept of caliphate. The caliph is the head of state, but his authority is limited by the Sharia, and he is expected to rule in accordance with the divine law and the divine law. The caliph is not considered to be above the law, and he is accountable to God and the people for his actions. In addition to the caliph, power is also distributed among other institutions and actors, including the scholars and jurists who interpret the Sharia, the community of believers who hold the rulers accountable, and the judiciary, which is responsible for upholding the rule of law. The role of the role of the scholars and jurists is particularly important in Islamic political thought as they are responsible for interpreting the Sharia and providing the guidance on how to apply its principles in the political and social spheres. The community of believers also plays a key role in holding the rulers accountable through means such as peaceful protests, petitions, and other forms of political participation. Overall, the distribution of power in Islamic State is designed to prevent the concentration of power in the hands of any one individual or group, or to ensure that rulers are accountable to God and the people for their actions. This system of checks and balances is intended to promote justice, equality, and the well-being of all citizens in accordance with the principles of Islamic political thought. Next is law in Islam. Now we will talk about the law. In Islamic political thought, the concept of law is closely linked to the Sharia, which is the divine law that governs all aspects of human life. The Sharia is seen as the ultimate source of authority and the foundation of the legal system in the Islamic State. The Islamic legal system is based on the principles of justice, equality, and the protection of individual rights. The Sharia provides guidance on a wide range of issues, including criminal law, family law, property law, and commercial law. Islamic law is derived from the Quran and the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad, Hadith, and the consensus of Islamic community, Ijma. One of the key features of Islamic legal system is the idea of individual responsibility. In Islamic law, the individuals are held accountable for their actions and are responsible for seeking justice and upholding the law. The role of the state is to enforce the law and providing a framework for the resolution of disputes, but it is ultimately up to the individual to live in accordance with the principles of the Sharia. Another important principle of Islamic law is the idea of fairness and equity. Islamic law prohibits discrimination and the emphasizes the importance of treating all individuals equally before the law. In addition, Islamic law places a strong emphasis on the protection of individual rights, including the right to life, liberty, and property. Overall, the Islamic legal system is designed to promote justice and equality and the protection of individual rights. The Sharia serves as the foundation of the legal system in the Islamic State, providing guidance and all aspects of human life and ensuring that the law is consistent with the principles of Islam. Next topic is liberty in Islam. In Islamic political thought, the concept of liberty is closely tied to the idea of free will and the responsibility of individuals to make their own choices. Islamic political philosophy recognizes the importance of individual freedom and emphasizes the value of personal autonomy and self-determination. However, in the Islamic State, the concept of liberty is balanced against the responsibilities of individuals to the larger community and to the divine law. Islamic political thought emphasizes the importance of living in accordance with the principles of the Sharia, which provides guidance on how to live a righteous life and fulfill one's obligations to God and to society. While individual liberty is valued in Islamic political thought, it is not absolute. The Sharia places limits on individual behavior and emphasizes the importance of living in accordance with the principles of justice, fairness and the common good. In Islamic State, individuals are expected to respect the rights of others, avoid behaviors that harms the community and contributes to the welfare of society. Overall, the concept of liberty in the Islamic State is grounded in the principles of individual responsibility, personal autonomy, and self-determination, while also recognizing the importance of living in accordance with the principle of the Sharia and fulfilling one's obligations to God and society. Equality in Islamic State. Equality is a fundamental principle in Islamic political thought, and the Islamic State is committed to promoting social justice and ensuring that all individuals are treated fairly and equally. In the Islamic State, equality is not just a legal concept but a moral and spiritual one grounded in the principles of Sharia. Islamic political philosophy recognizes the inherent dignity and worth of all human beings, regardless of their race, gender, or social status. The Sharia provides guidance on the importance of treating all individuals with respect and dignity and prohibits discrimination on the basis of gender, race, or religion. One of the key ways in which the Islamic State promotes equality is through the distribution of wealth and resources. Islamic political thought emphasizes the importance of social welfare and the obligation of the state to provide for the basic needs of all individuals, particularly the poor and disadvantaged. The Sharia requires individuals to give a portion of their wealth to those in need, and the Islamic State is responsible for ensuring that this obligation is fulfilled through the provision of the social services and the redistribution of wealth. In addition, the Islamic State is committed to promoting equality in the legal system. The Sharia provides guidance on the importance of treating all individuals equally before the law, regardless of their social status or position. Islamic law also places a strong emphasis on the protection of individual rights, including the right to life, liberty, and property. Overall, the concept of equality in the Islamic State is grounded in the principles of social justice, fairness, and the protection of individual rights. The Islamic State is committed to promoting the welfare of all individuals and ensuring that everyone is treated with respect and dignity, regardless of their background or social status. Next topic is rights in Islamic State. In Islamic political thought, the concept of rights is closely tied to the principles of justice, fairness, and the protection of individual liberties. The Islamic State recognizes the importance of protecting individual rights and is committed to ensuring that all individuals are treated fairly and with dignity. The Sharia provides guidance on the protection of individual rights in a number of areas. For example, it emphasizes the importance of protecting the rights to life, liberty, and property, as well as the right to privacy and personal autonomy. It also recognizes the importance of protecting the rights of women, children, and minorities. In the Islamic State, the protection of individual rights is fundamental obligation of the state. The state is responsible for ensuring that individuals are liable to exercise their rights and freedoms without fear of persecution or discrimination. This includes the provision of legal protections, the enforcement of laws that promote the protection of individual rights, and the provision of the social services that enable individuals to live with dignity and respect. One of the key ways in which the Islamic State protects individual rights is through the institution of the judiciary. The Sharia places a strong emphasis on the importance of an independent judiciary, and the Islamic State is responsible for ensuring that the judiciary is able to operate free from political interference and influence. Overall, the concept of rights in the Islamic State is grounded in the principles of justice, fairness, and the protection of individual liberties. The Islamic State is committed to ensuring that all individuals are able to live with dignity and respect, and that their rights and freedoms are protected and upheld. Now, duties in Islamic State. In Islamic political thought, the concept of duties is closely tied to the principles of responsibility, accountability, and social justice. The Islamic State has a number of important duties and responsibilities towards its citizens and society as a whole. One of the key duties of Islamic State is to is to uphold the principles of Sharia and ensure that they are reflected in all aspects of governance. This includes enacting laws and regulations that are consistent with Islamic principles and ensuring that they are enforced fairly and justly. The Islamic State also has a duty to protect the security and well-being of its citizens. This includes protecting them from external threats as well as internal dangers such as crime and social unrest. The state is responsible for providing the basic social services such as healthcare, education, and housing that enable individuals to live with dignity and respect. Another important duty of the Islamic State is to promote social justice and equality. The state is responsible for ensuring that the wealth and resources are distributed fairly and equitably, and that there is no discrimination or oppression based on race, gender, religion, or social class. This includes implementing policies and programs that promote economic development and address poverty and inequality. In addition, the Islamic State has a duty to promote and protect the right of minorities, non-Muslims, and other marginalized groups within society. This includes ensuring that they are able to practice their beliefs and customs freely and without fear of persecution or discrimination. Overall, the concept of duties in Islamic State is grounded in the principles of responsibility, accountability, and social justice. The state is responsible for upholding the principles of Sharia, promoting the well-being and security of its citizens, and ensuring that social justice and equality are upheld in all aspects of the governance. Thank you so much. We will discuss the next topic in next video. That will be the fifth modes of participation: demand, decisions, public opinion, political parties, pressure groups, etc. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.